The most recent project I did was on the use of cell phones while driving and how to convince teenagers not to use cell phones while driving. And the project title was called The Effects of Statistical Format and Population Specificity on Adolescent Perceptions of Using Cell Phones While Driving.
Cool. All right. And when did you actually do the project?
I did the project starting my junior year. The idea of the project actually came the end of my sophomore year when I was preparing my junior proposal, but all the data collection and the actual experiment took place during my junior year.
Cool. And where did you do this? Was this an in-house project?
Yeah, it was an in-house. I worked with Dr. Wesley, and we collected the data in the driver's ed classes held in our school.
And so can you give me like a little day-to-day type of experience, like during the school year and then also during the summer?
So day-to-day, most of the work that I do in-house has to do with the literature review, being able to understand the topic that I'm researching, and using SPSS program to calculate all the statistics needed to run my experiment. And over the summer, it was basically the same thing, except I met periodically with Dr. Wesley, and I corresponded more frequently with my mentors through email. And yeah, that's about it.
So what would you say some of the skills that you would need for doing your particular project in behavioral science would be? You mentioned SPSS before, like any other type of special skills?
Well, in the introductory classes and the seminar, they teach you how to use the data collection programs, and mainly the most important skill you probably need in behavioral research is how to understand the literature that you're reading, be able to comprehend all the research that you have to read before you actually delve into your own project.
Right.
And then another important skill you need to know is how to write a research paper. And then being in this research program has helped me a lot to learn how to write
in
research paper.
that,
Exactly.
Right. Cool. So what was your hypothesis and your purpose?
So basically I looked at two main theories about how to communicate risks to teenagers, and one of them is the ratio bias, which says that larger numbers are more effective in communicating risks than smaller numbers just because they're larger in size. And the other one says that more specific and relatable populations also help convince people that certain risks are riskier. So basically I looked at these two theories and I compared them, and I hypothesized that from the literature that I read that the ratio bias actually overcomes the effects of this population specificity, and that therefore larger numerical values should be more effective in communicating risks than a relatable smaller population.
Cool. All right. And so your methods, like what was the steps that you did to predict the results?
So as I said before, I ran my experiment in driver's education classes, and I gave all the participants who are all juniors or seniors taking the driver's ed classes, I gave them all a survey about the use of cell phones while driving. At first I gave them a flyer that contained statistics that were manipulated according to independent variables. And then after reading the flyer, they filled out the survey that asked them to rate their perceptions of risks and their behavioral intentions. And from the data I collected from the survey, I was able to determine the results.
Okay, cool. So what were some of the results, just in general?
So basically I found that my results supported my hypothesis. So
okay, cool.
The larger numerical values are more effective in communicating risks than the relatable small population.
Mm-hmm. So in the future, where would you like to take this the next level as far as your experiment goes?
One major thing that I might look at is the population specificity theory that I looked at previously, because it's considered like a proximity dimension.
Right.
And another thing I could do in the future is probably examine other dimensions of proximity, such as social or spatial proximity.
Okay.
Compare that to racial bias and see how they
right.
face off with each other.
Cool. And one more question, just a general question about advice. So, any advice for future researchers who are coming into the program?
Yeah, if you're hardworking and you're willing to participate in this research program, I think the one most important thing about doing research here is you have to find a topic that you really enjoy,
right.
something that you really like to know more about. And once you find that topic, I mean, sometimes of course it can be stressful just because of the nature of the research program. You have to do a lot of work, but if you find a topic that you like, it's much more manageable and you'll actually enjoy it once you complete your project.
Right. And the best part about your whole research experience in the past 4 years?
Best part? Winning Intel, I guess, being a semifinalist. Yes.
Alright, cool. Thank you.
All right, thank you.